Hollie here for PlayStation Access. Now, it wouldn't be a Destiny interview if you didn't find my favorite man, Deej, but this time, Destiny 2.
Destiny 2 this time.
It's all real. Like, you can finally talk about it.
I can, and you can play it.
And I have played it.
How'd you do?
You know what? Running through the tower as things were falling, it actually was really upsetting.
A little bit, right?
Home.
Yeah, we've taken everything you've known and loved and we've set it on fire.
And what a lovely bunch of people Bungie are for that. No, it felt beautiful, and it felt like returning to something that still felt familiar, and where I've spent a lot of time actually, and then what a new experience.
Well, and that's the whole point, is anybody can relate to the idea of fighting to protect your home.
Yeah.
The place where your friends would gather, the place that's familiar to you. And in the opening act of our new game, all of that falls under attack. So we exile you into the wild frontier, you get to go and discover new forms of power, and that's really what the game is about. It's about disaster and recovery and becoming a hero all over again.
Yeah, now this time, for this particular interview, we're going to focus on things that maybe weren't on the live stream that I would still like to know about, or maybe they were hinted at on the live stream, and I'm going to attempt to try and get a little bit more information out of you.
Good luck.
Okay.
Here we go.
You ready?
Yes.
Now, the first is how we're telling the story. You guys have said, obviously, story, more cinematics, and you know, more campaign than ever before. But you're going to be telling the story differently to sort of how you've told it in the first one.
Yeah, well, as you said, we are telling a brand new story. There are more story missions, more cinematics than anything you've ever seen in a Destiny game, but there's also a wider variety of action than anything we've ever shipped in a Bungie game, all up, you know, in our over 25-year history. And a lot of those things help to tell the story.
Yeah.
As you explore the worlds of Destiny, you're going to encounter new characters that are in the world with you.
What, like if you went on to, like, you know, the European Dead Zone, there'll be...
If you're in the European Dead Zone, you'll encounter a character who's an ally of humanity.
I like that.
They'll put adventures on your map. You've got a new map, that's your guide. That will expose you to new story elements. You'll discover elements in the world that tell you their own little story. You'll go on adventures that give you different layers of story about the worlds that you're exploring. You'll go into lost sectors and you'll discover treasure. I mean, we're just creating a better sense of meaning and nuance of the reasons why your Guardian is exploring these places and the stories that those worlds can tell.
I'm no longer sort of removing ourselves from the game to discover this story, maybe in the way we kind of had to for the original.
Yeah, and you don't have to remove yourself from the game. You can stay in the world of the game. If you're not playing a story mission and you're exploring the world of Destiny, you can go on an adventure, you can discover a lost sector, you can dive into a public event, and all of these things happen as you move freely through the world. You're not going up to orbit and coming back down for every moment of action. It's a world that invites you in and it holds you and keeps you there and just throws awesome moments at you and brings you into contact with other people. It's what Destiny does. It just does it better in Destiny 2.
Good, that's what we want. Now, obviously, the tower, RIP the tower.
RIP, the dream of the tower. Yes, it falls under attack. The Cabal Empire bring the full force of their military might to our home. Dominus Gall is the new villain. You're going to love to hate this guy. He comes to help the Traveler and its light for himself. He captures the tower, helps himself to all of the powers that make us Guardians, and he sends us out into the wild with nothing to show for all of our bravery and all of our heroics.
Well, now that we don't have the tower, where are we going? Now, we said the farm is a new social space, but in terms of size and interactivity, have you guys expanded on what the tower offered us as Guardians?
The farm basically serves the purpose of a social space in Destiny. So as we are sent back out into the wild frontier, into the European Dead Zone, we're going to find a place where there was a shard that was discarded from the Traveler during the collapse of the Golden Age. So a piece of the Traveler is out there in the world, and the farm is right nearby. So you'll go out to the farm. That's where humanity stops retreating.
Right.
We plant our flag. You're going to discover a new community of human survivors, and we're going to rally together in that space. Definitely, Destiny has some different types of mechanics, different ways to become more powerful. So you're going to have a similar but evolved experience on the farm in that social space. So the things that you do to go out on new missions, the things that you do to make yourself more powerful, those things will happen in the social space of the farm. There are certainly some fun moments that you can share with your fellow players.
Good.
It's not just dance parties anymore. There's some fun things that you can do out on the farm that just make the world feel alive, bring some moments of levity to the player experience. They're there to remind us that while this game does take place in a post-apocalyptic
Post-apocalyptic.
It's been a long day. Let's say it together.
Post-apocalyptic
society.
I'm a professional.
We are both professionals here.
Anyway, yes. After that,
but it's still a bright and hopeful future. You know, it's still a civilization worth fighting for.
Yeah. Now, in terms of keeping that alive as well, you guys have you touched on the idea of seasonal events. What are that team looking to do? Because, I mean, we've announced the game, but you guys must be thinking about the longevity of changing things up just so the players always have a new experience. Yeah,
well, the Destiny 2 team is one of several teams at Bungie. So the Destiny 2 team they're creating this new experience. They're telling you a brand new story. They are going to unify a brand new community to reconsolidate their power and reclaim that which is rightfully ours, the city that we've sworn to protect. Once that's done, once the campaign is finished and you start to transition into some of the more challenging activities like the raid or the PvP endgame, there will be other things that we do to make the world of Destiny feel alive. There will be new ways in which we challenge Guardians to come together and to have amazing experiences together, but you learn of none of these things until you have done job one, which is to give us a safe place to call home again.
Yeah, you can't have a Halloween party if you don't have a safe place to call home. So
this is very true.
We need to get on with that, don't we? Now, I want to talk about the bosses themselves. Now, in the live stream, we did see a couple of bosses. They had their names come up. We know that they're the ones we go after. However, I noticed they were now split. The health bars had segments to them. Is this idea of a phase change? So the more you attack a boss, the way it's going to fight changes. Because before, really, that wasn't necessarily the experience we got.
Yeah, sometimes that's just a good way for you to track your progress. But you did play the new Strike.
I have, yes.
And that fight changed and evolved, that final boss fight.
Ridiculous, quite frankly.
Yeah, did you finish?
Yes, we did.
Okay.
Yep, first time.
Not bad. For being in a place this loud and distracting with people that you may have never played before, you're still able to finish that Strike.
Yes, we were.
And that was a 3-phase boss. That boss changed and became more dangerous and fought in some different ways throughout the course of the fight. But yeah, there's always some different things that we do with the user interface, with the heads-up display in the game, so that you get better feedback as to exactly what's happening. We're doing that in a lot of different ways in Destiny. You're going to have a new map that lets you jump into public events. We're going to always give you an interactive guide where you can pull that out and say to yourself, what should I be doing next? Obviously, the next story mission will always be logical, but while you're exploring your way through these worlds, there's going to be all kinds of things that you can jump into, and we're taking a lot of the guesswork out of that.
Now, talking about jumping into new things, lost sectors. Now, these were mentioned on the live stream. What I want to know is, are they always there? Like, could you stumble across a lost sector while you're just playing, or have you got to trigger it? Maybe they only appear sometimes, like we had when we had the Black Spindle quest. Like
it's a pretty deliberate evolution. As you move through these worlds, they will unfold in front of you. And the characters that you meet along the way on your journey will mark these spaces on your map.
Okay.
They will send you to explore these places. It's like descending into a dungeon, finding a cache of treasure, and you have to defeat the boss in order to claim it for yourself. These are all the things that you do in Destiny to become more powerful, to upgrade your character.
Cool. Now, we did see some tanks, but no one, again, on the live stream gave us really any idea if we were the ones driving them. Are there more than just sparrows now in Destiny? Are there actual vehicles?
More than just sparrows now in Destiny, and you did get a glimpse at a great new expression of power for anyone that's playing the game. Now,
is that the kind of thing where the game gives it to us, or is that the kind of thing that we summon and collect, like we do with our sparrows?
It's only one way to find out.
I knew I was pushing that one a bit too far.
A little bit too far, but these are things that we'll discover as the heroes of this world sometime after September 8th.
Now, I want to finish for anyone who really played Destiny in the long run, they always know it's about getting the loot. It is about the personalization. It is about your character looking badass in the social space.
Yeah.
We didn't really touch on the idea of personalization on the live stream, but you guys did start to evolve that on the end of Destiny 1.
Sure.
But really, what are you guys doing with Destiny 2 to make sure that we have the most individuality possible, but still be completely badass Guardians at all times?
There are some things I can't go into excruciating detail yet, but absolutely, Destiny 2 is about creating a unique hero. Destiny is about creating a character that is an expression of your personality, the way you want to look, the way you want to fight. Certainly the way you trick out your own Guardian build is a way of customizing your character. The way your character looks is based on some very specific decisions that you make as a player. The way you modify that character, the way that you upgrade that character. Destiny is all about giving you control over your own hero, and Destiny 2 is about giving you more control over how you play, how you fight. The new weapon system is even a great new example of how we're helping you to customize your own player experience, giving characters more freedom and more power over the types of weapons that you want to use. So if you want to use a weapon with elemental damage, you can do that. You can equip exactly which type of weapons that you want. And of course there are the power weapons, the one-shot kill weapons, things like shotguns, things like sniper rifles. Those are all migrated to one spot.
Yeah, that was the biggest thing for me, was I like to play with shotguns, and I was doing my light tap to go to my secondary and not a heavy, and I was finding myself submachine gunning instead of shotgunning. That's going to take a while to get used to.
Yeah, and that's what Destiny is all about. It's a game that changes. It's a game that challenges players in new ways. We don't just do the same thing over and over and over again. There's always new things for you to learn. There's always new things for you to adapt to as a player. Keep you thinking on your feet. Keep you working with your friends to discover new ways to win.
Amazing. Thank you so much. It's always good to see you. And
well, good to see you too, yeah.
Especially this time, now that we're like, this is it.
This has been a great day. The response from the community has been amazing. So many people that we've met from the PlayStation Nation who've really changed the face of the Bungie.net community. And just to hear the roar from the crowd while we showed people what we've been working so hard on, it's just been awesome. It's always great to talk to you at these events, Hollie. So
yeah,
thank you.
Always nice to have these little moments. And I always try and get information. And Deej knows exactly what he's doing. But there you go, guys. That is all I'm going to get. These are some of the things you might or might not have seen on the live stream that we try to delve a little bit deeper into. We do have lots more Destiny 2 stuff coming up on PlayStation Access, so don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe.